Hi guys, this is Collin and welcome back to the channel. Well, it's laundry day in the Collin household yet again. You can't really imagine how much laundry two kids can accumulate before you become a parent yourself, but it is an amazing amount. It's pretty much a full-on laundromat service in our apartment. I'm just waiting for the neighbors to start dropping off their laundry as well. The machine goes 24/7, and if you're not hanging the laundry to dry, you are sitting on the couch in the living room with a glass of wine and folding laundry in 16 different piles. I feel like the kids' take on clothes and laundry is pretty much like Spike in Notting Hill, when he starts borrowing Hugh Grant's clothes because he doesn't have any clean clothes, and Hugh Grant says, well, you can't really get any clean clothes unless you clean them, and Spike answers, yeah, it's a vicious circle. So they never really told you this before you get yourself pregnant. I think that it should have been like a folder, or at least a picture book or something, on how your future life is gonna be. Well, I can't really complain. I love my life, but doing laundry 7 days a week, not so much. So, let's take a look at this video. Today I'm bringing you a Kutuzov game. The Tier 8 Russian premier cruiser Kutuzov. And we are on the map Northern Lights, and it is a 4 Cap Domination mode. And I start to communicate with my team as soon as possible to get them talking pretty much. And my favorite place to go on this map is Caps C and D, because they have that little strait in between them that connects them, and that makes those two caps really easy to cap and to control for your team. So I always prefer for those caps. So we are heading a small part of our fleet towards D, and my thoughts is that we take D, control that, and then I can head into that strait, and I can position myself in the strait, capping C, and I can even pop smoke if I need to. So that is a really efficient tactic if you're driving a Kutuzov or a destroyer. So I'm trying to scare off this Mogami, and we have a couple of ships inbound for D. We have an enemy frigate and a North Carolina, but I also have some really good strong backup with me here, so this shouldn't be a problem. And the Kutuzov is an extremely strong ship when you learn how to play it. I mean, it is a paper ship, don't get me wrong. It won't let you do so many mistakes. If you make a mistake in Kutuzov, you're gonna lose 80% of your health. So you better not make mistakes. Now I do a little high five here with our North Carolina. Didn't really realize that he was so close. So that's my bad. You can't really say that it's battleship's fault that you collide sometimes, because they don't have any maneuverability or speed, so it's always your fault if you crash into them. Now I spot the enemy frigate who was sitting in the cap, And now he's spotted, and well, he's pretty much fucked, because he has already used his smoke, and he won't get away from my firepower, so he goes down. And because we have friendly fighter squadrons overhead, his torpedoes was spotted as soon as they left the launchers. Now we have an enemy North Carolina and an enemy Fuso. And we're starting to cap D. Now my first initial plan was to head through the strait to C and cap C as well, but as you can see on the minimap, there's already a friendly destroyer doing that, so I can focus more on these enemy battleships. Now I do a little blunder here. I pop my smoke because I'm afraid that one of these battleships are gonna shoot at me and reset my cap. But you should never really pop your smoke until you have all guns on target in a Kutuzov. I popped my smoke while half of my firepower was still turning around. My two back turrets were turning around, so that is not really an efficient way to use your smoke in a Kutuzov. You should really make sure that you have all your firepower when you pop your smoke. And I can tell you a little tip. I have done tests. First, these enemy dive bombers are trying to bomb this Nagato, but they don't realize that I'm close, so they don't get to drop one bomb on him, because Mikhail AA pretty much eats up everything that comes in within range. And as I said before, the tip I have for you is that I have done some research in the Kutuzov, and if you look at the smoke timer down at the right, you can tell when the next smoke is available, and the smoke cloud on the Kutuzov is disappearing when the counter reaches 1 minute 30. So when the timer is like 1 minute 40, you need to start heading out of the smoke, because you're soon gonna be a sitting duck in front of the enemy. And you can use this timer until the last smoke you use, because then you won't have any timers to watch, but it's a little tip. And so the smoke is really short if you compare it to the time you can sit in smoke as a DD. So that's really why it also is very important that you have all guns on target. Now the enemy carrier thought it was a good idea to send torpedo bombers my way as well. And you can tell I don't even have my A barrage up, it's on cooldown, but I can still take care of all the enemy bombers without any problem. And I get my third kill. Now if you watch the minimap, you can see that I'm going straight towards 4 enemy ships, and I'm pretty much all alone. I need to do this because I feel like our aircraft carrier is a bit vulnerable in this situation, and I'm not really afraid of taking on 4 enemy ships in the Kutuzov. You just really need to use some sound tactic when you do this. You pretty much need to duke the enemy team into start chasing you, so you can pretty much control the engagement and start to work on one target one by one. So first we have this enemy Mayhem, and we also have a Hatsuharu, and they should never pop up in the sights of a Mikhail Kutuzov, because, well, this happens. And one of the reasons why Mikhail Kutuzov is such an excellent ship to boost your XP gain in it is because it's an excellent ship to hunt and kill destroyers. And how XP works is that it doesn't really matter what type of ship you're firing on and killing, because it's a percentage based system the experience counts on. So if you fire and damage and kill a destroyer, it's pretty much the same experience as you get by killing a big cruiser or battleship. So destroyers are very good XP piñatas, and this ship is the perfect ship for that job. Now the Fubuki managed to survive, but I have the enemy York. I can start engaging. Oh, sorry, it was Hatsuharu. It was. Now, for some reason, he decides to pop up again close by my Kutuzov, which is a really big mistake, because he can't really take me on. Meanwhile, I don't even use my full firepower to delete him from the game. And as you can tell, I have pretty much not taken so much damage on my ship, while I have engaged these 4 enemy ships on my own. So as long as you play smart and use good tactic, use the terrain, make sure that all 4 targets can't shoot at you at once, maneuver, angle your ship, and work on one target at a time, it's not really a impossibility for you to fight 4 enemies. Now 2 are down and I have 2 left, so I'm heading straight back towards them. And you see that North Carolina, he has turned around and pretty much doing the big steps in the other direction. Now I got that daily Kraken with that Hatsuharu, and I also got a Confederate, which is always nice. And as you can see, this game is quickly going towards a win and will end real soon. So I'm just trying to get my 6th kill here before it ends. But this York, he doesn't really seem interested in fighting me. He's trying to hide behind this island, and I'm using another really good trick. If you have a boat with torps, you just engage the torps and you get this prediction line, and you can use that prediction line to pretty much see in which direction a ship is heading that is behind a big island or mountain. So that's a good trick to use. I made number 1 in the match, which is always nice. I did not so well damage-wise. It was a pretty mediocre game, but still did some good credits and good experience. 2 achievements, 5 kills, 12 fires, and assisted cap, which is also very good for that experience. So I got a few flags. Papa is always nice. So that's all for today, folks. I want to thank you very much for watching the video. Please leave a like, please share with some friends, and subscribe for some more great upcoming content. Have a good one.